What are some singing tips for beginners? You know what? I'm going to defer over to Kir.
I can do all these. All right.
I bet you can.
So beginner wise, I think the biggest thing would trust your instrument over anything else you find. So including us.
Well, no, and actually I will second that. Let your voice be your guide. It's a huge, huge piece of the process. Right.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, like there's so much information out there. Some of it's old, some of it's new, some of it may work for your voice, some of it may not. So, you know, if you're looking at YouTube videos, if you're watching our videos, if you're trying anything and it is feeling tight, it's feeling hard, it's coming out screechy, it's coming out blasty, it's coming out whatever you call that.
I think that's the witch from The Princess Bride.
Yeah. I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. That voice. Yeah, that's
the one.
We do say that on regular occasions. Anyway, but yeah, I would say that's the 100% biggest thing is make sure that you do not feel strain. A lot of times we feel like if we feel it, you know, if you're working out your bicep and you feel it in your bicep, that's a good thing. In our voice, it's actually a bad thing. We do not want to feel tightness and strain in our voices. So if you feel that, don't do it. That's my first thing.
That's a great place to get started. Yeah. I think that getting a handful of things or being mindful of a handful of things can be very, very helpful for a beginner singer. So just a couple of tips that I would have would be, you know, keep that momentum, right? Let your voice be your guide. If you feel like you're working too hard, you're straining, blah, 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 don't stop, adjust. It should feel more like speech. You want to make sure that you have good support as you're moving through this. This should be a down and outward expansion. We've got plenty of videos on that. We'll go ahead and maybe even link one to this in time once this is out, once we're done here. But also you want to be aware of any tension in the lower part of the tongue and here. Any of that's really not going to work for you. And then finally, I would say be really aware of resonance. You want to make sure that you're taking good advantage of the space in your throat and in your mouth and your vocal tract, because that's your dominant resonator as a singer. If you pull your tongue back, you close off resonance. If you pull your tongue up, you close off resonance. So you want to be mindful of keeping a nice, tall, narrow shaping as a general rule to get you started to find some good momentum. And I think those are, you know, pretty good starting points at least.
Yeah. And it's also say a mirror is your best friend as well. Watch for, you know, making sure you're opening your mouth enough. And even if you are opening your mouth enough, make sure your tongue's not coming up and filling that space or else it's doing nothing for you.
Yeah, well, yeah. The jaw can drop. You can absolutely close off every bit of space with that with the tongue right?
So make sure, you know, if you are dropping your jaw and trying to take advantage of resonance, that your tongue's not filling that space and, again, making it null and void. And also watch for breathing. You know, you probably know how to breathe pretty well, but for some reason when we start singing, we start gasping and our shoulders go up and all those things. So just watch out for that. Watch out for shoulders. Make sure your mouth is nice and relaxed.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that covers that pretty well.
Yeah.